Hey guys, welcome back to Dynasty Football Live. Today we're going to be bringing you our second round of our NFL mock draft. Hopefully you guys watched the first round. We had a few surprises in there. We had a lot of guys that we thought were going to, sneak into the first round. Maybe you don't, but we did. We had a lot of fun doing the first round. Hopefully you guys get to watch that. We're going to be bringing you more and more mock drafts as the offseason progresses here, getting closer to the draft. We're 1 month away, guys. I'm super excited about that. Draft time is always my favorite time of the year. It's almost like Christmas to me. If anyone knows who me outside of this channel, they know that I absolutely love the draft. So with that being said, we are going to get underway with our second round here. Manny's going to be picking first again, but first of all, Manny's going to come with you guys and let you know a little bit what about our channel has coming up.
All right, guys. Well, welcome back, and hopefully you watched the first round of our mock draft. If you haven't, please go check it out, and obviously come back and watch the second round. But wanted to clear up a couple of things before we get started. We mentioned in our first video, which kind of introducing our channel and what we're about and what our goals are and everything. And one of the things we threw out there was a giveaway for a T-shirt. And I wanted to make sure that it was kind of clear. We're still kind of trying to working out all the kinks, but definitely what we want to do is once we get to the 1,000 subscriber mark, we weren't going to have a couple of I don't know. We're trying to figure out exactly how we're going to do the giveaway, but once we reach that milestone, we'll give you all some more information about it. It's not going to be the first 1,000 because we just found out we can't actually track or don't have all the information for everyone who subscribes, especially if they have it listed as private. So we'll have to do some different stuff, but I just wanted to clarify that. But without further ado, we'll go and get started. Like Byron said, I'm picking first here, and we have the Steelers here at 32. In the first round, I believe we got them a lineman. We got Broderick Jones from Georgia. Right here, obviously that was one of their big needs. I know they don't draft a lineman in the first round, but they definitely need to beef up the line if they want to continue to have success running the ball, or actually better success running the ball. And so anyways, for the second round, we're going to give them Deontay Banks from Maryland. Ooh, he's a big-time defensive back from Maryland. He ran a really, really good 40 in the combine, and he's just a playmaker. He's a fantastic athlete, very smooth, very fluid, and I don't know. I just think it's a really, really good pick for them here in the top of the first or the second round for that.
Absolutely, man. That's a great pick, Manny. Would love to see him go there to the Steelers. I think that would really solidify their, the backfield there. So awesome pick for the Steelers, man, and great value too. He was supposed to go in the first round on a lot of mock drafts, but we had him falling out of this one. So, anyways, with me, I get my Houston Texans here. Super, super happy that this guy is on the board. I'm going to take what I think is, according to college football last year, he was the best linebacker in the whole entire NCAA. I'm going to go ahead and take the Butkus Award winner, Jack Campbell. I'm going to have him come in there. We've got Christian Harris we drafted last year. We've got Denzel Perryman they brought in to, play middle linebacker with Kirksey there. They also – now you bring in a guy like Jack Campbell, 6'4", really big linebacker. I've seen a lot of comparisons to maybe a poor man's Luke Kuechly. So if you can get a Luke Kuechly in the second round, I would definitely be jumping through the roof on that one. This guy plays with a lot of energy. He runs, explodes through the holes. Very, very, very high-end linebacker. Already looks like a professional linebacker. So we're going to go ahead and take him here for the Houston Texans and pair him up with his buddy that we got with at number 12 in the first round, Lucas Van Ness. So very happy to have the Iowa Hawkeyes here. the Brotherhood come back to the Houston Texans. Hopefully they can wreck shop for us. So with that being said, Manny, who do the Birds got here?
Oh, that's a great pick. Especially, I know, obviously he doesn't look as big as he did in the combine. I didn't realize he was as big as he is. You know, I watched a lot of, Iowa games and their defense was elite. And I don't know, maybe it was just me, but I didn't realize he was as big as he was. But that's a great pick. For the Cardinals here at 32, I'm going to go with a guy who had a great combine. He had a great college football career at Georgia. Extremely freak athlete, very fast, very strong. And the only issue I found with him is a little inconsistent tracking the ball, the deep ball, when he's in coverage. But other than that, he's just a big freak. He can play safety. He's the size of a safety. I'm going to get Kelee Ringo here for the Cardinals. I think he reminds me a lot of Peterson when he came in, just a really elite athlete, really big corner. So essentially kind of a Peterson replacement, even though that he left a couple of seasons ago, just in that mold of Peterson. So that's why I'll be here for 32 or 34 rather.
Yeah, this guy is a very excellent in coverage. Man, I saw him picking off balls left and right last year. Great pick there for them. It really, they lost one of their corners in free agency. Hopefully they can bring in this guy and he can plug and play and get it done. So for me, I get to pick for the Colts again. I was kind of torn on this. For me, they lost Paris Campbell. They need a slot wide receiver. I really think, from me looking at their depth chart, they could use a safety, they can use a wide receiver, an offensive guard, and a linebacker. For me, I'm actually going to go with linebacker here. And this linebacker is going to be a different breed of what we've seen in Indianapolis. I'm going to go with Drew Sanders here from Arkansas. He was actually a transfer from Alabama. He was a defensive end in Alabama. He transferred. This guy is 6'5", also very, very tall for a linebacker. Excellent, man. This guy's a sideline to sideline linebacker, a bring it every down type guy. Really love the motor this guy has. I am super excited to see this guy play in the NFL. If it wasn't for Jack Campbell, I think we would have been talking about this guy as the Butkus Award winner last year in college football for linebackers. So very good value here for the Colts, and that's who we're going to take for the Indianapolis Colts here.
Nice. Good pick. All right, for the Rams at 36, we saw a really huge drop in play from the lineman position, just across the line, across the board for the Rams since Andrew Whitworth retired. They didn't seem to address that, or at least it didn't come through in the play during the season last season. So we're going to go ahead and get a lineman here for them, and I think you got to go with Dwan Jones. He is a massive human being. 6'8", 370 pounds, 75 pounds, extremely, basically really, really dominated in the Senior Bowl practice. He actually only practiced, I think, one day or maybe 1 week. I can't remember which one it was, but I remember he dominated day one and then basically left. So he's like, I got nothing else to show. So he's an athletic freak. He looked extremely athletic at the Ohio State Pro Day. So, I think it's a good pick for them, especially after Whitworth retired. It's just a big drop off there and the way they played as a whole, but definitely at the left tackle, you could tell there was something missing there without having anyone protecting the blind side of Stafford there.
Yeah, Stafford needs to stay up, man. They gave up. They kind of mortgaged the immediate future for Stafford. So without him in there, we saw how bad they look. So need to keep him up and healthy. So great pick, man. I'm glad you addressed in the trenches here. That's good. For me, moving on to the Seattle Seahawks, the new Legion of Boom is what I like to call them, and that's what I'm building for them. If you paid it, if you watched our first round, we ended up getting them Jalen Carter, and they also got a little guy named
Witherspoon, I believe.
The best cornerback in the entire draft, I think. But a lot of people have their favorites. He's not really like, I don't know. We'll see how that goes. But anyways, for me, I'm going to continue that trend, and I think they go all defense with their first 3 picks because, man, Pete Carroll likes his defenses. I think that's really what that Seattle crowd feeds off of, the 12th man, and I hadn't really been getting that vibe. Sherman and the other guys, Sherman and Cam Chancellor left, all those guys. Yeah, they brought back Bobby Wagner. Did you see that? So they're getting their old middle linebacker back. So with this pick, I'm going to take the best available talent on the board, which is actually a need of theirs. I'm going to take the edge rusher here out of Iowa State, Will McDonald. Now this guy right here, super long, super athletic. He gets inside and outside really fast. He's got really good hands for a defensive lineman. He can, he reminds me a lot about. He reminds me he reminds me more of if you think of it. I like these really long edge rushers because they can bend, right? They come around the outside, they can bend, and just left tackles just cannot keep up with a bend. Well, if you watch this guy on the bend, he gets around and he gets to that quarterback fast, and that's what Pete Carroll loves to see in that defense. So for me, Will McDonald is the pick here, and I add amazing value for them right here. So they are continuing to rebuild that defense, and we'll see how it goes.
No, that's a great pick. You can never have too many pass rushers, or enough pass rushers rather. Here at the 38 for the Raiders, I'm going to go here with. I know that the tight end class is very deep, but after them dealing Waller to the Giants, they definitely need a tight end replacement. And I really like this guy. I'm just really concerned about, his health and everything.
Yeah.
But I just think he's he's a field stretcher. He's very athletic at 6'6", 250 pounds. He ran a 4.6. We're going to go with Luke Musgrove. He's very, very much exactly in the same build, and his game is very, very much like Waller. So it'll be a nice to have him a Waller replacement right away. Hopefully, I know tight ends kind of struggle, first season, but I definitely think this guy, if he can stay healthy, which has been an issue throughout his career at Oregon State, could be definitely a game changer, at least in the passing game. And obviously, he'll need to improve his blocking as his career progresses. But that's who I have at 38.
Awesome, man. Great pick, man. I like that. I'm going to go ahead and move along to the Panthers here. They were able to land C.J. Stroud at number 1 in the first round. I think that's everyone's at this point in the draft. That's everyone's consensus number 1. Bringing in a rookie quarterback. They have Andy Dalton backing him up. Matt Corral's still there. Who's saying where he's going to go, where he might be? But that's what they got at quarterback. I don't know if C.J. Stroud, they're going to throw him to the Wolves just yet. Hopefully they do, because it would be cool to see him day one. I love seeing rookie quarterbacks start from the get off there. So for me, you invest the number 1 pick in a quarterback for your franchise. You need to invest in keeping them upright. I'm taking the best guard in this draft right here out of Florida, Osiris Torrance. They need a little bit of interior line help. I like this guy, man. They call him the human bulldozer. If you watch this guy's highlight tapes, or if you watched him in Florida, pancakes all day, baby. He don't just eat them; he gives them. So, I like this guy. I think he could easily be a first rounder. Maybe someone, like Jacksonville takes this guy instead of the center that I mocked in the first round. I can very easily see that happening. But for me right now, Osiris Torrance is amazing value right here, especially for a franchise that just drafted their future quarterback. So that's my pick.
All right. It's a great pick. For the Saints at 40, in the first round, we addressed their need with the offensive or defensive line, rather, with Kancey out of Pittsburgh. In the second round, we're going to go with the offense. They have Olave there, Michael Thomas, but they definitely need some more consistent play out of the slot, or either way, just building depth. You need more receivers in that team. So I'm kind of torn between Josh Downs and Nathaniel Dell or Tank Dell. I got to go with Dell. I know he's not the biggest guy, and neither is Downs, actually, as a matter of fact, but I just really love his tape. He's really, really fast. Once they get the ball in his hands, he just makes a lot of plays. So I'm going to go with Dell for here.
Absolutely. Great pick. That guy's super fast. I mean, probably one of the fastest wide receivers in this entire draft. So they are getting a field stretcher there in Dell for sure. I really like the guy. I think he's got great hands. He's also really, really good route runner. So that's my thoughts on Dell. Okay, moving on to the Tennessee Titans here. For me, what I saw out of the Titans, I think they need a third wide receiver. I mean, you brought in Kyle Phillips. We haven't really seen much of him. He got hurt last year. He was supposed to be like a pretty big sleeper in the draft last year. Looked all right during preseason. Didn't really get too much going during the season. I think he got hurt. So, and then they have Treylon Burks. Obviously, they took in the first round. I think they go back to the wishing well here for wide receivers to solidify that core there. I'm gonna take your boy from Tennessee here and keep him in Tennessee, Jalen Hyatt. I'm going to put him there as the field stretcher for Malik Willis. Hopefully that will help old Malik out or Tannehill, either or. I really, really like him here. I think that if the Tennessee Titans actually pick Jalen Hyatt in the real draft, Tennessee fans, I mean, the jersey's probably going to sell out in the first 5 minutes if anyone knows anything about Vols fans. So. Not just doing this for you, but I'm doing it because also it's a fit, and I think Jalen Hyatt deserves to be in the higher end of the second round, maybe the late first. Definitely could sneak into the first. One of my favorite wide receivers in this entire draft. So I'm going to give him Jalen Hyatt, man. Hopefully he balls out there with Treylon Burks on the other side. So that's my pick there.
Nice. Well, the Jets go back-to-back here. If you watched our first video, we actually traded their first-round pick to the Packers, the Aaron Rodgers trade, which the more time that it takes, the least I'm convinced that's actually going to happen. It looks like it might be these two instead of the first round. But anyways, this is what we have here now, so we'll go with this. But I think for the Jets, if they were to pick here, I think they need help in the defensive line. I know they had a couple of injuries last year, even though their defense performed very well with Sauce Gardner and some of the rookies that they drafted in that side of the ball. So, and like I said before, you can never have too many pass rushers or defensive linemen for that matter. So you can rotate in and keep them fresh. The one guy that I'm going to get, and I'm going to actually looked up how to pronounce, so hopefully I can actually pronounce it, even because it's really hard. Adetomi Wa Ader. All right, I got the first name. Adder Northwestern. I gave my best. Anyways, this guy, even though he's really, really, really fast at 6'2", 282, he ran a 4.4, which is ridiculous. He can play inside. He can even play outside, and get him in the weight room. He can probably put on some more weight if we want to keep him inside. And one of the interesting things about him is, even though he's extremely fast for his size, he likes to use a lot more of his power than his speed, which is ridiculous considering he ran a 4.4 or a 4.49. It was high 4.4. Let's just keep it at 4.4. So anyways, this guy really impressed me at the combine. He just extremely athletic. And really strong. So, and he had a great season last year. So that's what I'm going with.
Awesome, man. Hey, I like that pick a lot. That dude right there, he can get after the quarterback. I think that's a great pick there. For me here with the Jets, if you're gonna have if what happens in our draft in our first round, if they do trade for Rodgers, which we both think they ultimately will, I know you're still holding out hope that they don't, but if they do, I look at the Jets' offensive line, and I don't see consistency. What I do see is one of the best centers left on the board here for them to keep Rodgers upright and healthy. I'm going to go with Luke Weipler here out of Ohio State. I think that really gives them that center they've been missing, for a long time there. They haven't really had a center there for a while. They did have a Hall of Famer. Can't remember his name right now. I really wish I could remember his name, but he was a Hall of Famer for me for sure. I'll remember.
Well, he did play for Ohio State too, so.
Yeah. Do you remember his name? I know he had like long hair. I don't know, man. I forgot.
He had long hair.
I don't really remember centers' names, but anyways, Luke Weipler is my next available center on the board. I think it's a very, very big
Nick Mangold.
That's right, Nick Mangold. Big time center though, man. One of the best centers I've ever seen in the NFL. I liked Mangold a lot. Yes, Luke Weipler is my guy. Ohio State, they bring back the second Nick Mangold here from Ohio State. So I'm going with center. We're going to beef up their offensive line even more. They got the tackles. Now they need to beef up the interior. So that's who I got there.
Awesome. Got the Falcons at 44. In the first round, we got Quentin Johnston out of TCU, which is definitely one of their needs. And I think if it does happen, I don't know if he'll go that high based on some recent mock drafts that I've seen online. But if he does go that high, it'd be a great place. A lot of mismatches with Pitts and Drake London and obviously Johnston. So that'd be a crazy offense to watch for sure. I think what they need to do now is address their defense, which was one of the worst in the NFL. They have several needs. I know rusher is definitely one of them. I think corner's also one of them. And I think at this point, I'm going to go with Cam Smith out of South Carolina. 6'1", 181, I think, ran a 4.4. Extremely good, very aggressive player who, he doesn't really obviously he plays, corner, so he guards the receiver, but he doesn't really guard the receiver. He goes after the ball. He's extremely aggressive. The only downside is a little too aggressive at times with a lot of penalties. So hopefully they can clean that up for him, but he's extremely good. Definitely good ball skills. So this is the pick for them for me.
Man, I gotta jump in here on this guy because, man, this guy is a dog, man. I love Cam Smith. I think he's gonna be a very, very, very good cornerback in the NFL, man. He very good ball skills there, and I love those guys who will come in and play the way I think everyone should play. If you watch Cam Smith, I think everyone should play like this. This guy's got a motor through the roof. So. Yeah, I love the pick there for the Falcons. They definitely need it there on the back end of that defense. Okay, so we're going to go back here with the Packers. I like Jordan Love. Let me just clarify this. I think Jordan Love is your guys or the Green Bay Packers future quarterback. Okay. Now I've heard reports coming out lately that this next guy that I'm going to pick for the Packers could easily be a top 5, top 10 talent had it not been for the knee injury. I'm going to give you your holy saint that you wanted back from everything that you got back from the Rodgers trade here in the second round, which I think is an absolute steal if this guy is still here. I am going to give you Hendon Hooker as your future quarterback. They're going to bring him in. They're obviously going to give Love his shot, right? So Love, you never know, man. The guy looked great last year, when he did get on the field. But things can change quickly in the NFL, as we know. I think when you trade a future quarterback like Aaron Rodgers away, you want to bring in someone that you feel like you're going to secure the future with. I don't think Love at this point, I feel secure as a future quarterback for the Green Bay Packers. I feel like you would get the control with Hooker, let him sit. If get that knee feeling a little bit better, don't throw him out there right away. We know he has the talent. We know he has, the guy just, he beat the best team in college football last year, one of the best ones in Alabama. Tennessee hasn't done that in forever. But let me just get back to what I'm saying here about Hendon Hooker. If he is here at this point in the draft and the Packers ship off Aaron Rodgers and they don't do this, it is going to not only be the biggest pass I've ever seen in my entire life in the draft on a position of need that I feel like you need more than, any other position if you ship off a Hall of Fame quarterback. I'm not going to go too much more with this, but you bring in a guy like Hendon Hooker, and I feel like the Green Bay Packers have solidified their future at that position. That is a very important position, and to get a guy like this in the second round is an absolute steal. So that's who I got the Green Bay Packers taking, Hendon Hooker out of University of Tennessee.
Well, as a Packer fan and a Tennessee fan, I love this pick, and I do agree with you. I think we don't know what Love is, and hopefully he is the guy. If he's not, we need an insurance policy, and Hooker being available in the second round because of the knee injury at this point would be a steal, especially because in my opinion, and I guess is maybe a little biased, he is a first round talent. So I love this pick, and I'm not going to go too much into it because I can keep going. But great pick at 45 for the Packers. I just think you need an insurance policy because, like you said, we don't know what Love is. He could be a Hall of Famer. He could be, the next bust. We don't know that. So definitely nice insurance policy. I like this pick. At 46 for the Patriots, I know, no one really knows what Belichick's going to do. But one thing I do know about Belichick is he loves versatility. So with this pick, I'm going to get him a safety who can also play in the nickel. He's kind of on the smallish side, but he's extreme. He's a playmaker. So he didn't run that well in the 40. So the speed is maybe questionable. I think he looked a lot faster. Watching his highlights or the film, I thought he looked a lot faster than he did at the combine, or that he ran his 40. So, I'm going to get Jamie Robinson here from Florida State. And who knows what Bill Belichick's going to do, but I do know he likes versatility, and this guy is very versatile. So that's what I'm going with.
Yeah, I like that. I think that Belichick likes Florida State players as well too. That's just my opinion. Okay, so moving on here to the next pick, I get the Washington Commanders. For me, they landed a quarterback in the first round, in our first round of the mock draft first round. Sorry, losing my mind here. They got Will Levis in the first round, so they got their quarterback. I think right here they go with, and things right here may change, but I think this guy could end up being a first round talent as well. I've heard his name a lot. I watched him at Clemson a lot. I'm going to give them the linebacker out of Clemson, Trenton Simpson. This guy right here, very bulky linebacker, man. He comes at you with a lot of pop, a lot of power. I see a lot of good things in him that I think he could bring to that Washington Commanders defense. Hopefully they get Chase Young back going and healthy and get that defense back to where it was a couple of years ago when Chase was a rookie, man. That defense was nasty when he came out. So would love to see him there with the Commanders. That's my pick.
All right. The Lions. Let's do a quick recap because they had a couple of picks in the first round. We got Nolan Jones in the top 10. And then we got Michael Myers in the later half of the draft in the first round. So with this pick, I'm not going to take too much time. I'm going to get Clark Phillips out of Utah. He kind of had just a bad a bad day in Indianapolis. Didn't perform like we thought he may. But this guy is an absolute playmaker. He's a football player. So he makes a lot of plays. He may not run the fastest 40, may not be the tallest. He's only 5'9", but he can play all over the plays, and he makes plays wherever he's at. So somehow he finds the ball. So I'm going to go with Clark Phillips here.
Awesome. I think that's a great pick for them. I'm going to get into the Steelers real quick. So for me, the Steelers, they always have an amazing defense, right? Like you look at the Pittsburgh Steelers and you're just like, you think of the Steel Curtain days, you think of all the great players that came out of there. And I think they need to add someone on Devin Bush, he was a good linebacker, but for some reason he's fallen out of grace there. I think he's actually a free agent now. So they need someone up the middle or on the outside that I think brings the same intensity that I expect out of a Mike Tomlin defense. And that guy is going to be DeMarvin Overshown out of the University of Texas. And I think if anyone has ever watched this guy, he wears the most wristbands I've ever seen on a human arm I've ever seen in my entire life, which is crazy. I think he wears about 10 an arm. But other than that, you can't even see this guy coming up the middle. That's how fast this dude is. He's very, very, very tall linebacker, much like Jack Campbell. I think he's 6'5", 6'4", somewhere in there. Lightning fast, and this dude is not scared to hit at all. I love players like this. So when I think of a linebacker, I like the electric bull rush linebacker. I'm not stopping. I don't care if I rip your freaking head off. And that's what kind of linebacker. You watch DeMarvin Overshown, and this is how you need to play linebacker in the NFL. So that's who I'm picking here for the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Awesome. Bucks here at 50. Who did we get in the first round for the Bucks? Anton Harrison, tackle out of Oklahoma. Now we're going to address a different need, which is the safety position. I think that I think they lost a couple of secondary guys to free agency, so they definitely need to kind of reload in that position. And I'm going to get him a safety here who is extremely versatile, very athletic, can play in the slot, is excellent in run support, and that's Antonio Johnson out of Texas A&M.
Oh, nice. Like him. Very, very good safety there. Antonio Johnson. Man, I think he's going to look good over there next to Pittman Jr. I like that. I like the tandem they got going on there with this one. That's
Winfield.
Oh, Winfield. Yeah, not Pittman. I always think of Michael Pittman Jr.
I mean, he played for the Bucks, so you know.
Yeah, sorry about that. So anyways, good call. Those two right there, man, killers on the back end of that defense. That'll be nice. Especially I think they still got a decent defense over there in Tampa Bay. So I always got a good defense. So for me here, man, it's kind of tough, man, when you look at across the board of what the Dolphins need. I wrote a few notes down for the Dolphins. I think really where I'm gonna go at this point and the actual fit that they need right now, they need a cornerback. Okay, they need a cornerback to come in and play right there, and they're going to start this guy off in the nickel, obviously, because they have obviously they have Jalen Ramsey. They brought him in, and then they got Xavier Howard. But I feel like if you watch the Dolphins last year, they got burnt too much, man, and Tua just couldn't stay. He couldn't keep up with what they were giving up. So I'm going to bring home the Miami Hurricane here and Tyreek Stevenson. This dude plays with a lot of intensity. I really, really, really like this pick for them. They gives him a lengthy guy. I think he needs to beef up a little bit. He's only 198 pounds. I like to see him at like 205, 210. You know, he's very, very patient. This guy, he'll sit back, come up, and he'll get the ball, man. He's a ball hog, just like, you know, I've seen a lot of the old school corners and defensive backs for Miami Hurricanes. So Tyreek Stevenson's my guy for the Dolphins here.
All right. All right. I have the Seahawks here at 52. We have gone all defense here. And I'm sorry to say I'm not going to continue that trend. They need some help on the offense. So I'm going to go ahead and beef up we've kind of addressed a lot of the trenches, at least on the defensive side. We're going to go ahead and address it on the offensive side. Last year, they hit on 2 tackles last year that played extremely well. And this year, I think they need someone in the inside to kind of beef up that line. And I think Steve Avila is the guy here for them. He's listed as a guard, but can play center as well. And he's just a really good football player. So that's going to go with him.
Awesome. Yeah, Steve Avila went all the way to the national championship and got destroyed. I can't laugh too hard because I've never been to one, but, you know, they did not look good at all in that national championship. But for me, man, the Bears, man, this team is just up and coming, man. I love this team. I'm going to go back to the wishing well here, man. For Chicago, I'm going to go get them, which is what I think the best cornerback left on the board, in Travius Hodges-Tomlinson. I think, you know, he's a little bit undersized as far as, like, you know, the new aged cornerbacks go. 5'8", not very tall, but man, this dude don't play like he's 5'8". He's projected as a slot corner, and I think that's where they put him on his team. You know, I think that, you know, being LaDainian Tomlinson's nephew, got that NFL pedigree. I've seen this guy mocked in the higher of the second round, even higher than this. So I feel like at this point he's a good value for the Bears, and I feel like they roll the dice on a piece that helped them get to the national championship. You know, he brings it over to the NFL, and they give him a chance at slot there. You know, they got an absolute steal last year in Jaquan Brisker. That guy is an animal back there. So they're going to be wanting to beef that up back there next to him. They also got Kyler Gordon too. He's really good too. So Kyle Gordon, I don't know. Kyler or Kyle, I don't know. I forgot which one it is, but one of the two. They get their cornerback here in Tomlinson.
All right. I got the Colts, or the Chargers here at 54. One thing about the Chargers, I believe I guess I kind of threw a curveball. I'm kind of projecting an Eckler trade, which is, you know, he requested a trade. I'm thinking that's probably going to go through. I don't know if they can agree on a long-term extension for him. So if he does leave, which is part of the assumption here, with me picking Gibbs in the first round for them. And anyways, in the second round, I think one of the things that they need to address is the line, the defensive line. They were one of the worst run defenses in the league last year, and they need someone inside who's going to be kind of a space eater. And I think we have 2 guys who are just that. We have this guy from Michigan, Mazi Smith, and then we have Siaki Ika.
Yeah.
I love picking the weird names.
Yeah.
They're basically the same size, but at this point, I think I'm going to Mazi Smith. You know, at this point, he's, you know, we're in the 54th pick. He's ranked 34th. Not that I agree with every ranking that PFF has had so far, but this would be a good value here at 54. Oh.
Yeah, I like that pick a lot, man. That's really good value for Mazi Smith. He gets after it, man. That dude plays faster than what he looks at 320 plus. So, man, great pick there for the Chargers. I'd like to see that happen. All right, so They lost DJ Chark. They have two excellent young wide receivers. I think they still need a slot wide receiver here to replace what they lost in Chark. The Detroit Lions are going to take the 30th ranked player on the whole entire board here, and which is an absolute steal, in Josh Downs. So Josh Downs going to get to go play with Goff. So think about this. This is their offense now after the offseason. They got David Montgomery, DeAndre Swift, Jared Goff. We drafted them in the first round, Nolan Smith in defense, and they got their tight end in Max Mayer. And now you're going to have Javonte Williams. I can't even keep this going because it's so funny. Not Javonte Williams. You got Williams out there, and then right on the other side on the slot, you put Downs in there, and then you got Amon-Ra. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. I can't wait to see this happen. So yeah, Josh Downs there.
All right. Good. Jacksonville at 54. With the first round, you drafted them as center. I believe you got Schmidt. That's right, John Michael Schmidt.
Yeah, it was a bit of a reach, but that may happen.
No, I've actually seen him in a lot of mock drafts now in the first round. So it might not be a reach. One guy that I've actually seen in the first round as well that we haven't picked yet, I don't think. Let me double check here. Yeah, we haven't picked him. I think with what you said last time when you got Schmidt, they need to to beef up. You need to beef up the line. Everything starts in the trenches. You got to protect Trevor Lawrence. You need to continue to do that. You already have you don't need to get a receiver here. You might be able to get one in the third round, just because you have Ridley now. You have Kirk. You have other options there now, so you don't necessarily need to get one here. But I think this guy here, even though he's ranked 70th, which I don't agree with, Darrell Wright out of Tennessee, he could go in the first round, to be quite honest. And I don't think he even allowed a sack last year. Excuse me. I know Williams out of Alabama said he struggled. That was probably the toughest matchup that he faced during his career at Alabama. So that definitely says something, considering Williams is probably if it wasn't for people needing quarterbacks and picking them number one overall and trading up, he would probably be the number one pick. So, Darnell Wright is the pick here.
Great, man. Liked it. I like him. He gave a lot of trouble to one of the best defensive players in the draft, Will Anderson. There was a lot of reports that he just could not get it done against him. So also Will Anderson came out and said himself that he had trouble with him during that game. So that's a great pick for the Jacksonville Jaguars. I like that. For me, I'm going to go here with the Giants, and I'm gonna give him a little help up the middle. I'm gonna give him the center out of Wisconsin, Joe Tippmann. Love the mullet this guy's got on him. That alone tells me on this pick. I mean, I wish I had hair like that, but unfortunately, it's not in the cards anymore. But Joe Tippmann, I'm taking the center out of Wisconsin. Great pedigree there coming out of Wisconsin for offensive lineman. He's the 53rd. Ranked player in this whole entire draft. So I feel like 57, that's pretty good value. We'll take him. And to open up the holes there, last year they addressed the left tackle. They got their big time left tackle. Well, I think he played right tackle. I can't remember where they lined him up, but they got their left tackle last year. And then this year they go center for old Saquon.
Cowboys at 58. To be honest, I didn't think this guy's going to be here. I was planning on going receiver, even though they got Cooks, and obviously CeeDee Lamb and Gallup is hopefully going to be more like himself this year after coming back from that ACL. I'm gonna go a different route because I didn't think this player was gonna be here. So I'm gonna go running back. They have a lot of questions at running back. Obviously, Pollard had that big injury at the end of the season. They released Zeke, so they don't have a lot of depth after that. So I think this guy answered a lot of questions at the combine. He ran extremely well. I think he ran a lot faster than I thought he might run. He just doesn't look that fast, even though he did pull up a bunch of long runs in the, if you watch film, you see a lot of big runs. He just didn't seem that fast, but he ran a 4.5. So that's good enough for me at 6 feet, 215 or 214. So I'm going to get Zach Charbonnet out of UCLA. And I think that answers a lot of questions, gives Pollard a little bit of a chance to get back, as well as kind of give him a bell cow. He can really, really do it all. He can run it. He can catch it. If he was a little bit faster, he might be in the conversation with being the top back, in my opinion, with Bijan, just because of the type of skill set that he does have. But unfortunately, he's not as fast. And Bijan is just next level. But you might be upset with that comparison. But I think if he was faster, if you've seen his stats, you've seen what he can do, and he can catch it, he can run, he can do everything. So I think this guy's going to be a good one.
Yeah, man. I like Zach Charbonnet, especially it fits the need there for the Cowboys. They're going to probably lose Zeke. They're talking about they want to bring him back to Dallas, but I don't know, man. I don't know what happened to Zeke, man. He needs to find himself again and get back to the Zeke that he was at Ohio State, because, man, he let the NFL get to his head in that $90 million contract. So bring in some fresh legs here. Hopefully Pollard's okay. He looked electric last year, man. Wish I had him on my dynasty team. I love Pollard. So
no, me too. And I think Zeke, honestly, in my opinion, I think one of the things that hurt him a lot, and I know he probably did it to take some of that pounding that you take as a workhorse in the NFL, but I think he just gained too much weight.
Yeah, for sure.
And that he doesn't look. Yeah, he's not as explosive as he used to be. And when we came out of Ohio State, he was a lot thinner. And he was still a bell cow. So,
all right, man. So I'm gonna get going here with the Buffalo Bills. Man, looking at their team, they don't have a lot of holes on this team. They never had, and they haven't had a lot of holes on defense. One hole that I did find, looking through their depth chart, they don't really have a linebacker that they can say that gives them that big time identity. I know Milano is good.
They just lost. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you out, but they just lost Edmonds too, so to the Bears. So they definitely need a linebacker for sure.
Yeah, man. So I was looking at that today, man, and I was just like, because I had them picking a defensive back here. I was gonna pick a defensive back, but you know how like your heart just tells you, hey, man, I gotta go get I gotta go get a playmaker. This may not be, and this is a definite. I like this guy. Okay, I think that this guy is the whole reason the Oregon defense was what they were. I'm taking Noah Sewell out of Oregon. This guy's going to come in and be an electric linebacker in the NFL. I really, really, really like this guy. Looks like a guy that needs to be on the Buffalo Bills today. So that's what my heart's telling me. I like Noah Sewell. I know there's a lot better linebackers on the board right now, but man, he brought it at Oregon, man. If you watch them play, this dude brings the hat, dude. I love his style. I love the way he plays. I love the way he freaking gets after the quarterback. So that's going to be an even harder task to stop those Buffalo Bills on defense. So Noah Sewell to the Bills.
Bengals at 60. They lost a lot of not a lot, but they lost Jesse Bates to the Falcons. At the safety position, their corners are questionable, in my opinion. Eli Apple talks a lot of trash. He can't really back up. And I think they need some help in the secondary. So with this pick, I'm going to get a guy who is extremely big for this position, although we've seen a lot more, taller corners coming out in the last years. But I'm going to get Julius Brents out of Kansas State. Dude is 6'3". He ran a 4.5, low 4.5. He's extremely explosive. 6'3", and can jump. High points the ball very well. Great ball skills. I don't know. I just think this guy's definitely underrated. I don't know if you've watched his. I think this guy's could be a game changer for sure.
Yeah, Brent's haven't watched too much on him, but I'm looking forward to it now. Yeah, I'll definitely have to get into that one. So I like the pick there. I think that helps the Bengals jump back. I'm not a fan of Eli Apple at all, that's for sure. So hopefully they can get it out of there. Man, that guy has more Twitter battles than anyone I've ever seen in my life. So we're jumping back to the Bears here. We got him a corner. I feel like there's one more piece they're missing on defense. I feel like that's all I've picked tonight here in the second round is defense. I've been going nuts here. But man, to see this guy still on the board, and this guy is a playmaker, man. It reminds me of a baby Palomalu, man. Give me Sidney Brown. Keep him there in Chicago. Have you seen this guy's highlight tape? Dude is an animal, man. This dude can play. He's never not on the hips of the cornerback, man. This dude is like a magnet out there. I love to see corners that they don't give a lot of space. This dude who gets in everyone's head. He's going to stay in your head all day long. And this is the kind of person you want, back there at safety. For me, on the other side of Brisker, these two dudes are bringing heat all day there for the Bears, and they just continue to get better. So Sidney Brown here for the Bears.
Nice. Well, I think we're going to have to go back-to-back with the safety position here at 62 for the Eagles. Obviously they had a really, really elite defense with a great pass rush. For me, one of their weak points, especially because they I believe they lost CJG. What is that? What is the acronym? CJGJ. I forget who he signed with.
CJ Gardner Johnson.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
He obviously they lost him. They don't have a lot of depth there. Blankenship played well when he came in, but they need something else. They need someone a little more proven, someone who has great pedigree. And I think, when you think of safeties, just think about how many starting safeties come from Alabama. We already picked one in the first round for the Packers in that Rodgers trade, which may or may not happen, I guess. At least not with the number one pick, but we're going to go here with Jordan Battle. He's extremely, extremely just very versatile, can do everything, can tackle, can obviously in coverage he's good. Played at Alabama. There's nothing else to be said. He's a baller.
Like that. I like any player from Alabama you got to be excited about, man. Saban knows how to pick them and he knows how to grow them. So anybody from that, defense, I'll take all day, any day. So Battle is great value there as well too. All right, so the last pick here in our second round of our mock draft. I'm gonna throw a little wrench in everybody's game here. I know they have wide receivers here. Not a fan of any of them though, man. Like I'm not a fan of Scott Moore, not a fan of Kadarius Toney. They don't have that dog there, man. They don't have everybody's the same there. You know what I mean? Like they lost Juju. Give me a very, very underrated wide receiver at this point in the draft that's just getting slept on. Give me Keyshawn Butte and out of LSU there. This guy has fallen more than anyone I've seen fall in all the NFL mocks. You know, this guy's just keeps sliding and sliding and sliding, man.
As you can see here.
Yes. I don't see what warranted that. I know he had some injury issues last year, maybe a couple off the field issues I heard about a little bit, but I think that roll of dice at this point in the draft at 63 and take what I'm considering a very, very slept on receiver at this point. I mean, I think it's tremendous value, especially when you have a quarterback like Patrick Mahomes. So, replacing Juju here with Keyshawn Butte, and that's going to end our second round of our mock draft. So I'm excited to see everyone's comments. I'm excited to see everyone's thoughts on this second round mock draft that we have here. Also, we're going to be bringing you some more rankings coming up here, or we're going to be bringing you rankings as well coming up next. So do you have anything to add here, Manny?
No, I think it's a great pick here, Butte last. You know, he had a couple of ankle injuries. I believe he had surgery twice on his ankle. I don't know if it's the same ankle or both. That kind of slowed him down. And obviously, you know, he had different quarterbacks, so there wasn't that chemistry there. Obvious, you know, when he came into LSU, he had a great freshman year. He just couldn't, kind of build on that. So I think the talent is definitely there. It's just a lot of bumps in the road, to the NFL. So I think this is a good place to take a shot on him. And essentially, I mean, if he can get kind of things squared away, the rich get richer. I mean, the Chiefs get a guy who at the beginning of the year was basically, potentially the number one receiver in the country. So yeah, that's a great pick. I love the way we ended the draft. Please, like Byron said, please subscribe. Please like the videos. That helps us, grow our channel. It helps our video, go through the algorithms, and helps our video, reach other people that may like this content as well. So please like, subscribe, and leave a comment and let us know what you think about our picks. Obviously, a lot of these guys, a lot of this is going to change. The sooner, the more pro days we have, and the more interviews and visits that players have with different teams. So we might do probably another draft when it gets a little bit closer to the real thing, as we have more information and gets closer to the real thing. So, yeah, I'm really happy with what we did here, and I think that's all I have today.
Awesome, man. Hey, and always, guys, keep watching the videos. We're going to keep you on our journey here as our channel continues to grow. We're going to have a lot of rankings coming out soon that you guys want to pay attention to for your Dynasty football teams. We're going to help you guys mold your Dynasty team from start to finish here. Our goal as a channel is to get you involved in the actual real draft that's happening, so you can see where their landing spots are going to be, which are going to be very, very, very integral parts for you to draft these players where you need to draft them in your Dynasty football drafts. So with that being said, as always, Dynasty Football out.